JJ, you mentioned the lack of care factor right now. Is there anything, whether it's you or your coaching staff, is care factor coachable, or is that just either have it or you don't?
No, I think guys will say they want to win. The care factor to me is like, do I care enough to actually do what I'm supposed to do and just do it consistently? And that's really what the championship habits are, and that's what we don't have right now.
It's follow up on that. If you're saying, you said earlier, it's the same guys not executing, does that just come down to, look, if you don't do it now, your rotation spot?
We've given everybody a chance.
First, just what did you notice from Austin in the calf at halftime to make the decision for him not to return?
It was not my decision. But Austin clearly felt something. So we did our normal halftime, and then as we were walking out of the locker room, Dr. Sims told me he was out.
I'm sure you'll have to wait for more info, but just any initial concern about him moving forward with that?
I don't have any info.
What did you see overall in the game, kind of starting in that first quarter on the glass and the turnovers, and how that prevailed through it?
Yeah, the two words of the day were effort and execution. And, I feel like when we've done both of those things at a high level, we've been a good basketball team. When we haven't, we're a terrible basketball team. And tonight we were a terrible basketball team. And that started legitimately right away.
When you point to that, I mean, I would assume the offensive rebounds in their first two misses, a thing that I would imagine you talked about a lot. As a coach, what does that feel like when you're on the sideline and you've keyed in on something and within 48 seconds it goes?
Yeah, it doesn't matter how I feel. It doesn't matter how I feel.
Why do you think your team was unable to execute the things that it was tasked with?
Because we don't care enough right now. And that's the part that bothers you a lot. We don't care enough to do the things that are necessary. We don't care enough to be a professional. It's, we had it. We had it. This is. I always say this about culture. I always say this about the team being a good team being a functioning organism. It can change like that. We don't have it right now.
JJ, and as you talk about today is modern basketball, you guys have 2 days off, but I'm guessing you guys are only going to practice once. How do you improve on these things when you can't practice enough?
Oh, we practice them all the time. It's not. Again, it goes back to what I said the other night. It's a matter of making the choice. And too often we have guys that don't want to make that choice. And it's pretty consistent who those guys are. And so Saturday's practice, I told the guys, it's going to be uncomfortable. The meeting is going to be uncomfortable. I'm not doing another 53 games like this.
Pre-game, you mentioned a stretch in March of last season where you thought maybe this was a little similar, or at least the feeling of it was similar. Was there anything that you recall that your team did to get out of it? To kind of get the momentum back that could be replicable in this situation?
Yeah, I mean, I think every group is different, and the circumstances of trying to get out of it, I think, are different. I wish I had a good answer to that question because I think it's a fair and valid question. It's hard because each individual guy is at a different space, So you're trying to get all of the individuals to function as a team, and you got to address what's going on right now. And it's hard to draw parallels. Does that make sense? Yeah.